As the weather warms up, it's time for us to check out what's going on for outside activities. Joining us for those fun ideas is the new adventure travel specialist for Visit Nebraska, Graham Jordison. Graham, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Visit Nebraska.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I took over as the adventure travel specialist in January. So my role is to identify, support, and strengthen Nebraska's agritourism and ecotourism opportunities. This might include things like promoting experiences around winery and brewery tours or floating down one of Nebraska's beautiful rivers. Overall, it's just highlighting Nebraska's hidden gems. I also hope to help communities and businesses develop sustainable tourism opportunities to attract visitors and enhance outdoor recreation.
Graham, what are some key projects that you are focusing on this year?
One of my biggest passions is kayaking. I've been paddling for over 20 years, and I've kayaked some of the longest rivers in the country, including the Mississippi and the Missouri rivers. I've also spent a lot of time here in Nebraska paddling on our state's rivers and streams. And what I've learned from my experience paddling here in our state is that we have an untapped resource. For example, we're home to over 90,000 miles of river and streams, but we currently only have about a dozen designated water trails that highlight around 500 miles. Many of these waterways are overlooked. I think they're underutilized and underdeveloped. I want to change that by expanding access and increasing awareness of Nebraska's incredible paddling opportunities.
Sounds like some exciting and fun ideas. Graham, what are some of your favorite rivers to paddle right here in Nebraska?
I live in Lincoln, and if I'm staying local, I love paddling the Blue River. The Blue is a slow, meandering river that starts north of Lincoln and eventually flows into Kansas. It empties into the Kansas River before joining the Missouri. It's also a great spot for fishing, which I like to do. Nebraska's rivers are home to some of massive catfish, and kayaking makes catfishing particularly easy because you can pull right up near a log jam and drop your line in and reel in some really impressive flathead and channel cats. And that's just a really simple, accessible thing to do, and it's a lot of fun.
Across the rest of Nebraska, Graham, what are some other great rivers for paddling?
The Missouri River is fantastic, as is the Elkhorn. Of course, the Niobrara River is always a beautiful and popular choice. While the Niobrara and Dismal rivers offer a more secluded experience, I think the Platte, Missouri, and Elkhorn rivers have plenty of towns along the way, so you can stop in for a bite to eat or a cold drink. One of my goals is to create more boat ramps and parking areas to improve our access to rivers, and this would make it easier for people to explore Nebraska's growing communities by water. Just as biking has gained popularity here, I hope to encourage more paddlers to visit Nebraska and help grow our outdoor recreation economy.
We're joined right now by the new adventure travel specialist for our Visit Nebraska, Graham Jordison, finding out about some great outdoor ideas as we head into spring and summer. Graham, if someone wants to go kayaking but does not own a boat, what are some options?
Some options for that. I guess the good news is kayaking is more affordable than ever. The cost of gear has dropped significantly in the last few years, and there are several outfitters around the state that rent kayaks and offer guided trips, so you don't have to invest in equipment right away to enjoy the experience. However, if you wanted to invest, you can go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and find some pretty decent deals on kayaks and paddles and life vests.
Graham, what can you tell us about some of those Nebraska top paddling events coming up this year?
One of the most exciting events is Crofton's Dam Race. It's an adventure race that combines paddling, biking, and running. It's like a triathlon. It's a fantastic way to challenge yourself while enjoying the beautiful scenery of Lewis and Clark Lake. And this year, the race will take place on July 26th. And you can find more information out about the Crofton Dam Race on Facebook.
Some great events as we head into those warmer temperature days. Graham, what are some important rules and safety guidelines for paddling here in Nebraska?
First and foremost, safety is key. Always wear a life vest. Carry 2 paddles in case one breaks. Make sure you bring essential items like food, water, a change of clothes, and a charged phone. If you're paddling a section for the first time, plan your trip to take longer than expected. Stay aware of potential hazards like log jams. Learn how to read the river's flow. And also make sure you check the U.S. Geological Survey site for water levels. The water level is always changing in Nebraska because of floods and droughts and different periods of the year, so that's really important to know what the water level is. Some other important things like property rights. Always respect private property, and Nebraska landowners own up to the middle of the river, and they actually own the riverbeds. So while you're legally allowed to exit your kayak to navigate obstacles like log jams and fences, always be mindful of where you step. And for landowners, it's important to be aware of legislation like LB 628. LB 628 addresses recreational trail easements and property tax exemptions. This bill encourages landowners to open up portions of their land for water trail access by offering them property tax incentives. So by increasing public access to waterways, LB 628 essentially it helps expand paddling opportunities across Nebraska while also offering landowners an elective opportunity for property tax relief.
Great advice and some good information there. Graham, thank you for joining us. Nebraska definitely offers a lot for adventure travelers.
Absolutely. There's so much to explore, and I hope more people take advantage of our incredible outdoor opportunities. Thanks for having me, Paul.
That's Graham Jordison, the new adventure travel specialist for Visit Nebraska. You can find out more about all kinds of year-round activities in Nebraska by going to visitnebraska.com. That's visitnebraska.com. I'm Paul Perkins on the Rural Radio Network.